last thing that we're going to want to do is find the max shear and the max moment for the earthquake when applied to our beam. So after you've run the analysis, we're going to go to Display, Show Forces, Stresses, Frames, Cables, Tendons. This will give us different case combinations that we can use to see different components such as the axial, shear, and moment in different degrees of freedom. For this case, we're going to want to make sure our case combo name is set to the name of the earthquake that we used. So in case you ran anything else like your modal case or your dead case, just make sure you switch this. So in my case, it's going to be Italy. We're going to keep the multi-valued option set to maximum or minimum. If we clicked on time down here, we could just see the shear and moment based on different time steps within our earthquake. But for now, we're just worried about that maximum number, so we're going to set it to envelope. Display type should be force. And then the first thing we're going to look at is the shear. So we're going to do the component for shear 2, 2. Make sure down here in your options you have it set to show values so that you can see those maximum and minimum values. Like I said, in this case, we're only worried about the maximum. So when you hit apply, you can see that SAP will give you both the maximum and minimum values. In this case, the minimum is going to be in green, maximum in blue. So just make sure we're looking at those blue values right here. So we can see that this will be the maximum shear on the bottom of our beam for the earthquake. And then on the top, this is going to be our minimum shear. So same thing for moment. We're just going to go down to moment 3, 3 in the component section and then hit apply. Once again, minimum is going to be in green, maximum will be in blue, so we can see that maximum shear at the bottom is this number down here. Minimum is at the top, always in blue for positive. So after that, if you just want to look at the actual display charts, we are going to go to Display once again, go to Show Tables, and when it gives us the option, we are going to make sure that we go down to Analysis Results, Joint Output, and then displacements so that we can see the joint displacements and the absolute joint displacements for our beam. So once we hit OK, we can see all these values right here. If you remember, we have our beam split up into 5 different sections, and it's going to do 12 different analysis runs for each one of those sections so we can see the different modes. Right at the top, you can see our maximum, minimum, shear, and moment. So this is just another way to look at the values we just saw. If you want to export this to Word, you can just do File, Export Current Table. You can do it to Excel, you can do it to Word, just so that it looks a little bit better when you're analyzing the data.